Welcome back to Hannity. President Trump has now been in office for only 13 days, but the whining and smearing from the Democratic side of the aisle, well, it's already reaching a fever pitch. That includes former DNC Chair Congresswoman Debbie Wasserman Schultz calling the president a dictator. Watch this.
The president's tweet this morning was very interesting and telling, because it shows that he believes that he was elected as a dictator. There is an advise and consent role for the United States Senate, and that is what they are doing. He doesn't just get to have his nominations rubber stamped.
But what are the issues? Because if you look at President Barack Obama.
Now, while Wasserman Schultz is saying that, former VP candidate Senator Tim Kaine is vowing to fight President Trump around every corner, literally. Watch this.
We are so excited that the American public is energized to speak out against the abuses of this administration. The way we get outside the bubble is we take advantage of this tremendous public outcry against the administration. What we've got to do is fight in Congress, fight in the courts, fight in the streets, fight online, fight at the ballot box. And now there's the momentum to be able to do this.
Obstruct, obstruct, obstruct. So much for Democrats and their bipartisan efforts. Joining us now is House Majority Leader Congressman Kevin McCarthy. All of that to me is predictable, but irrelevant in this sense, Congressman. You guys have the White House, you have the House of Representatives, and you have the U.S. Senate, a majority. Are you confident that the things that Donald Trump ran on, extreme vetting, originalist to the court, 15% corporate tax rate, lower taxes for the middle class, for business, for everybody that pays taxes, energy independence, education back to the states, fixing a broken VA system, all these things, building up our military. Is there any agenda item of Trump that either A, you don't think is conservative, or B, you don't think the House will support, and building the wall, by the way?
No, there's none. And if you watch what we've been doing, working very closely with this president, and I think if you watch what this president has done, he's done a tremendous job already. And that's not just a conservative agenda, that's an American agenda. That's an agenda that everybody can get behind. And what's so frustrating, Sean, is not only are they just fighting, if you watched the protest at the Supreme Court last night, they had signs with not even knowing who he was going to nominate.
Already
instead
pre-made.
of pose, and then they wrote the name in afterwards.
Well, they actually had some that were already pre-made that actually had Neil Gorsuch's name on it, which was pretty funny. You know, because a lot of people that went all in for Trump, they saw a distance among Republicans in the House and Senate during the election. Why was that? And has Donald Trump, have people been changing their minds based on the first 13 days of a lot of action?
That is true, and you and I had that conversation a lot during the campaign, but you and I know that Trump and I worked very closely together, and others did not. But since Trump was elected, I saw a uniting of not only just the Republican Party, but others. Because what Donald Trump did, Donald Trump listened to a voice across this country that others were not listening to. And he was disrupting Washington. And that made some people uncomfortable, but rightfully so. But look what he has done. He has done tremendous picks of individuals coming forward to serve in this cabinet. He put forth to the American public who he would select to the Supreme Court, put a list out there. And I will tell you, Neil Gorsuch is probably one of the most qualified people ever to be nominated for the Supreme Court. In 2006, he was unanimously approved in the Senate. And now that some of those same senators are saying they couldn't vote for him, that's appalling. And Democrats are not even showing up to committees to put forth these cabinet members. That's appalling to me as well.
You know, it's interesting. I got a high-ranking Republican that knows about the economic plan. If it is laid out the way it was explained to me, it would be everything I think the economy needs to be fixed. I have two questions on, in the interim, between that time between when Donald Trump was elected and becoming and sworn in as president, the Republican Congress raised the debt ceiling $9.7 trillion over a 10-year period of time, and there's talk about a $1 trillion infrastructure spending plan. That scares me as a conservative that wants to live within our means, balance budgets. Do you have any concerns about any of those two things? Why did that happen?
I have a real concern about that. And that same time that you had Barack Obama as president, Republicans in the House were laying out a budget that actually balanced and paid off the debt, something that Democrats didn't.
Then why
Barack
raise the
Obama's
debt ceiling
own
10
budget
trillion?
Well, in the process of where you go, you're going to see that we're not going to be able to do that.
Okay.
We actually pay the debt off. Now, listen, what you're able to do, when you raise the debt ceiling, that's actually paying for stuff that has already been spent. So when you're looking at the new president, those are things that have already been committed to. So you expect with Donald Trump going forward, you've got to give him some breathing room. It's like taking over a bad company. You've got to give him some extended money to actually retool the company, grow, and get out of it. That's why, one, the first thing we're doing, regulation reform. Barack Obama added 15 King James Bibles of regulation to America.
Let me ask the last question.
That has held back business.
It's been 8 years, and I know there are 9 separate plans. I know they're similar in a lot of ways as it relates to replacing Obamacare. How is it that the Republicans didn't have a replacement plan ready, and they're scrambling in every way, and it's scaring a lot of people? Why wasn't that plan written?
We had numerous plans. We had numerous ideas, and we're not scrambling. Watch what we go forward. And the one thing that you have to have, if you read Obamacare, there are 1,400 pages, and one of the strongest elements in Obamacare gives a great deal amount of power to the Secretary of Health and Human Services.
A lot of discretion there. That's huge.
Once Tom Price gets in, that's what we need inside a cabinet member.
All right, Congressman, you're one of the few guys in leadership that will even take my call. I appreciate it. Thank you for being with us.